Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Next Level You. I am your host, Alison Daley, and today we're going to talk all about the energetics of a rock bottom and what it is, why it happens, what are the gifts that it's actually offering us, and what are some tips that you can integrate if you're going through this period to make it as graceful and optimal as possible. Yes, it can be graceful and it can be optimal, but we have to understand what this rock bottom is here for in our life to start with. So let's get into it. There are different shades and terminologies around the different types of burnout. So classic burnout, classic is when we have been going really hard in our life in kind of the wrong direction. And we get to a point where we just can't move forward anymore. Often it's like giving too much time at work, giving too much time in whatever this sort of mode is that we're in, too much energy and trying to run through brick walls, use pure adrenaline until we fall over. That's a burnout. I have just come out of an 18-month burnout, so I can speak some firsthand experience into this episode. Then there's a rock bottom. So a rock bottom is when one day we can kind of wake up and be like, wait a minute, I did everything I was told I was supposed to do. I've got the job, I've got the house, I've got the marriage or the relationship, I've got the kids or what have you. And why am I so unhappy? If I did everything I was supposed to do, why does none of this feel good, right? Or like 20-80, 20% feels good and the 80% isn't jiving at all. So it's like a rock bottom of like, oh, what, how did I get here? That Talking Head song. This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. Anyway, and then there's another shade of this called the Dark Night of the Soul. And Dark Night of the Soul is really encapsulated around the spiritual aspect at a core level of the overarching questions of who am I, where am I going, how did I get here? Like we have those main questions every stage of our life and we just cycle through them. Specifically, the dark night of the soul is around our spirituality and our core level identity, which encapsulates the spiritual sort of breakdown and breakthrough process at a core identity level, at just that level. Dark night of the soul often like bleeds out into the other things in our life, but it's as a focus of the focal point of this rock bottom is pure spiritual. Whereas like a rock bottom can be like categories in your life all at the same time. And then a burnout is all the categories plus you just completely fell over because you ran out of steam and you are on empty physically, emotionally, mentally, all of the things. So it's a spectrum, right? There's different flavors, burnout, rock bottom, dark night of the soul. And, why it happens is because we're part of nature. We have cyclical processes too as human beings. This is our winter. This is our period when it's like, okay, we've produced a lot of things and now we naturally need to slow down and regroup. This can be an opportunity to just pull a full inventory of your life. Like things aren't going well. If you're driving down the highway and you're starting to hear some clinking, it's like, what's that? Maybe it goes away and then maybe it comes back. Or maybe a light comes on your dash and you're like, you drive with it for a while. The universe is giving us lots of little tidbits along the way, and often they aren't very convenient for us. Like, yeah, I know my boss is kind of demeaning, but this is a safe job and da 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 da, right? Or we get offered these small off ramps as we're driving down the highway of life, or the check engine light comes on, we ignore it. But there comes a point where if we're not doing general maintenance on our car, on our vehicle, then and paying attention when things are slightly off, they'll only get more off until it's like, oh shit, there's smoke coming out of the engine and I need to pull over wherever I'm at in that moment and deal with this, right? And so it's this idea of we haven't been able to attune to the small things in our life. And so we have a full pullover, full stop, full breakdown. I had a teacher in college once describe an experience she had at the beach. She was swimming and she got caught in a riptide and it pulled her away from the beach. And she was a strong swimmer and she was probably like 16, 22, somewhere in that, capable range for someone that also can swim. And she said she just got pulled by the riptide and swirled around and she didn't know which way was up. She was starting to lose her oxygen. And then all of a sudden her foot graced the sand. And then for her, as she said, in that moment, She hit bottom. She was no longer swirling and she hit bottom. She could feel the ground. So not only was she no longer swirling, but now that she hit bottom, she had something to push off of and she knew which way was up. Think about this as you experience your rock bottom. The beauty and the gift of a rock bottom is that now you have something to push off of. Now you know which way is up. Okay, now you have a fighting chance. I also think about the little scene in Alice in Wonderland where she's going through her regular day and she has that experience where the ground falls out from below her. I think she eats the cake or something and she's just falling, 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 and then she, boom, lands in Wonderland. And it takes her a minute. She's like getting her bearings, but now she's like somewhere. And from now she can start moving forward and figure out how she's going to navigate from this point forward. So even though it sucks to be at the bottom of the tunnel or just hitting rock bottom or going through a period where like everything is up for a negotiation, do know that this is for your best development. And so just like Alice, when you hit the ground, boom, it's a reality check. And reality check in terms of like who you are as a person, how you navigate the world, right? And if we think about at a core level, and this is a fundamental thing that I believe and is part of my program, and quantum mechanics and physics is proving this now. I can talk about another episode, but our experience right now as human beings, as a soul having a body experience, as a soul that is a fractal of universal intelligence experiencing itself through three-dimensional restriction and opportunity for growth, everything is here to serve you. If you're going through a rough time, it is here to serve you. If there's traffic slowing you down, it is here to serve you. You run into someone you haven't seen in forever, say hi. It is here to serve you. A rock bottom in this case can be seen as an earthquaking you out of your nest. Universe is like, hey, you know what? This isn't working for you. You can do so much more. You can do better. We believe in you. We've given you some off ramps. You've chosen not to take them. And now I'm going to have to earthquake you out of the nest to make you realize further, I need to make some changes. And so the reality check is, okay, well, who am I in this moment? What are the circumstances around me? Doing a full inventory of like, okay, well, if everything fucking sucks and everything's broken and I'm losing my job and I'm losing my relationship and I'm not feeling well, well, guess what? Now that you're no longer falling and you hit the ground, just stop. Stop. Slow down. This is the gift to just stop. We're not trying harder. We're going to catch our breath. We're going to take a moment to say, all right, well, let's look at the different categories of my life. How am I doing in my relationships, my primary relationships, my secondary relationships, my relationship with myself? Where could that get better? Where do I need to let some shit go or have some tougher conversations? Thinking about our career, how we make money, thinking about our health, thinking about our hobbies and our joy. Do a full inventory of your life. Go through your closet. Are there clothes now that are like so 8 years ago? The gift of rock bottom is that you are being offered an opportunity to do a full inventory of your life, realize where it's not hitting where you want to go, and then feel into what that could look like moving forward. So if you think about your life as chapters, and if you haven't read the book, The Midnight Library, I highly recommend it. Visualize your life as chapters, and this is just another natural closing of a chapter. And as we close a chapter, we begin a new one. As you move through this burnout process and you recognize, okay, this is here to serve me. Actually, my life could be better in certain capacities. What I'm going to do now is take ownership for how I got here, the things that I was in control of. Some things are circumstantial, some things are what have you, but we have a lot of autonomy in most cases, right? I'm not talking about random acts of violence or anything in that way of systemic trauma and oppression. I'm talking about day-to-day free will life building. It's really critical that we take some time to take accountability for where we're at. And as much as we also need to recognize that there's an entire matrix at play. There's socialization, there's programming, there's the isms, there are all they're the family of origin, the epigenetics. There's so many things that are sort of layered upon us as we develop, that as we grow and mature and hit these milestones of awakening to saying, all right, well, I did everything I was told I was supposed to do and I'm really fucking unhappy. Opportunity to start to deprogram and be like, wait a minute, why am I selling insurance? I don't actually like insurance. I just always was told that was what I was going to do and I'm doing it. Let's review that. Or relationships, a big one for me when I was first recognizing I was codependent and starting to understand what had happened and unhooking those wires in my brain and so that I could build new ones. For me, that process was waking up to the realization of like, oh my gosh, I, without meaning to, all the way through my 20s into my early 30s, as a person socialized as a woman in Western culture, American culture, I had been raised to be the support character to the male's main character, whether that was my dad or my boss or my boyfriend. I, as a codependent, didn't really cultivate my own identity. I was just like primed to help everyone else with theirs and be of service. And also, it meant that as things were coming up, because I didn't have my own identity or know what I wanted or feel, I ended up in relationships with more of a dominant person who then I was maybe too easy to follow because it was like, oh, this is what I do. I just follow along. And then all of a sudden, it was just like, this is so unhealthy. I tolerated so many things that now I wouldn't. But it's like I had to go through this period of realizing what codependency was and how it had showed up in my life so that I could own, you know what? I fucking signed that lease. I said okay to moving there. I said, yes, that sounds great to these things because at the time it did, but like now, so there comes a point where we are just given a reality check. I don't know if this has happened to you. I know it's happened to me many a times where I kind of focused on the potential of an opportunity or a relationship. I applied my rose-colored glasses to situations. I was in love with potential, things like that. Part of this reality check moment is to take that wool off our eyes, force us to say, hey, what's actually at hand here, right? Like, am I happy in my body right now? Am I happy in my relationships right now? Am I happy with how I make income or where I live? Rose-colored glasses off, right? We're taking just like a full data input. We're not telling the stories that go with it. It's just like, this is what is real. Is this what's good for me now? And as hard as it can be in the process when we stop fooling ourselves or doing the, well, once this happens, then it'll get better. When we're staying in a position that we're trying to make the best of, even though we know at a core level it's not good for us anymore. As we take that reality check and couple it with ownership and accountability for what I own in the reality of me being here, me being in this rock bottom, me in this burnout, what did I do to get me here? What choices did I make? What relationships did I say yes or no to? What circumstances was I in? How did I participate in the journey to get here? From there, as hard as it is to really sit with our ownership and our accountability, for me, that was the hardest part in my very early days coming out of codependency and how much anger I had for these ex-partners and all the crazy stuff I'd gone through. Also, I had kept saying yes and I had kept going along and everything was fine until it wasn't. I'm sure you've had experiences like that yourself. And for me to really sit with, oh, I have this habit, or oh, I am so disempowered in these ways that I wasn't even standing up for myself. The process of that accountability, it can hurt a lot. And also, it is where the healing lives, it is where the breakthrough lives. It is the tender gem of a core reason why you are here in the first place. It's like that wounded inner child that did what she needed to do, did what he needed to do to survive childhood. we'll have a whole episode around that. But I want you to know that as much as you have accountability for being in this dark place now, the beauty of the moment and the beauty of that realization is, okay, well, now I know better. Now I'm going to do better. And now I'm going to make new choices and new decisions and clean house with my relationships and be really focused and intentional about the relationships I move forward with or the job I move forward with or what have you. I can make new choices and new decisions to bring about the circumstance that I do want to see. Okay, because right where I am now, this fucking shit sucks. I don't like any of it. And the moment you get irritated and annoyed with where you are now, let's go. This is when it gets fucking fun. It's not fun on one level, but on the other end, it's like to burn it down. Burn it down. I call it tilling the soil. Honestly, it can be fun. These are like every few years, every 10-year opportunities. If you are going through a rock bottom, if you are going through a burnout, if you're going through a dark night of the soul, as Winston Churchill said, when going through hell, keep going. Keep going. Pray and move your feet. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. What's North Star? Calibrate. But guess what? You can fucking end of chapter. You're walking away, you're closing shit up, and you're starting a new chapter. Be empowered by it because guess what? Now you know, oh, not going to date someone that double speaks or not going to work with a boss who condescends my colleagues, not going to keep drinking wheat beer even though I fucking love it. I hate how it makes me feel. Like we get to calibrate into the life that we want. And so it's such an opportunity to revitalize, reset, and start a new chapter. So with that, talking through what the energetics of this period is, let's talk through some tips to help you make this period as graceful and optimized as possible. Lean into it. It can be not fun in the moment, but oh my gosh, what a journey. Just to be curious about who you're going to be in 3, 6, 9 months from now as you begin this autonomy, joyful regrowth process. So first and foremost, into the tips, I want to really introduce to you the release, receive cycle or release, regenerate cycle. Okay. So things are in cycles, just like, spring follows summer and now you're in a winter. Release, release, release. What does not get to go with you into this next chapter? What habits, what thought processes, what choices, what relationships, what sort of income, what sort of boundaries, what is coming with and what is getting left behind. The more you can drop, the better. Okay. The universe loves a vacuum. The more you can create space and empty out the things that aren't working, then you're creating a space for the things that are more in alignment to come in. If your fucking closet is all full, where are you going to put your abundance? Where are you going to put the fucking dream partner? You don't have room. You're clogged, man. So with this, so release, receive. So first we got to release. And I'm talking feng shui your life. A key part about feng shui, similar to Marie Kondo, is let go of a lot. When I say feng shui your life, I mean, go through your closet, literally touch every shirt, every pant, every sweater. How does it make you feel? As Marie Kondo says, does this light me up? Can I use it? For me, when I was coming out of my very dark period, I went through my closet and I was just like, does this make me feel poor in any way? If it does, it's out. Also, I got tired of looking at all my closet. And so what I did is I went through and I made a little capsule wardrobe of just like about 10 outfits with a couple miscellanea that I would be picking from for the next month. And I just moved the rest of the clothes to the other side. I didn't get rid of it. I didn't make any major decisions. I was just like, I'm tired of looking at everything. Just give me 10 outfits to choose from. Boom. Then I did the same thing with my jewelry, with my dresser and my pants. Trim that shit out. Same with your fridge, with your closet. Like there's periods where it's like, whatever served us at that time was great. And now everything should be up for review. Check in with your quality assurance standards. What that used to be acceptable that is no longer acceptable moving forward, and apply that to your life. So as you release, guess what? You're creating space to receive. And it's a two-part process because as we recognize what we don't want any more of and we let that go in our life, We get to receive in with intention the things that we do want. As humans, we're hardwired to learn what we want by learning what we don't want. We've all had some of those. It's like, oh, wow, I thought that I wanted that, and then I got it, and I was like, oh, damn, nope, all set, no thanks, let's not do that anymore. So as we receive in, we're calibrating to the things that light us up, the things that give us some mojo, the things that feel flow, that are effortless, that only lift us up, feels good, awesome. And so we're really creating this process of release, receive, release, receive. Now, one thing that I applied that was very helpful, especially when I was in the thick of it, think about the process of restoring yourself. Like, so you've got your body, right? So go get your heart rate up, go get some sweat out of you, go to the sauna, go look up Korean spa in your area and go spend an afternoon there soaking in the sauna. Get one of those like scrubber jobs from the person at the spa, the sauna. Exfoliate, get a body brush, get a loofah, like really help facilitate the transformation of your body. Get a new haircut. Go get a pedicure. Pedicures are not just for women. All right, fellas, I'm looking at you. You deserve to have your calluses removed. You deserve to have your feet massaged. Get those toenails trimmed. Get yourself buffed. You deserve it, man. Think about your body and your spirit as a bank account. And you got here because there were way too many withdrawals and not enough deposits. Okay. So I need you, as you recover from your burnout, to be putting deposits into your soul, into your body, into your intellect, into your social calendar. Okay. What deposits can you do to make you feel more alive and more in the frequency of where you want to go? What the vision is. Receive and call in this next level for you. Okay. And as you do that, all you need to do is create that barometer inside of you. Things come in before we say yes right away, especially as codependents. We have to pause. And if it feels good, we go toward it. If it's not a whole body yes, it's a no. No bad feelings, but we're only doing fuck yeses moving forward, full body yeses. And know that there's a period of slough off and then regeneration. So if it helps, think of your experience in your vessel, your body, moving into a chrysalis. Do you think the caterpillar knew what was happening? No, it just felt the urge to be like, oh man, I'm getting really tired. Things are getting really efforting. I'm just gonna like create a little blanket around me and just lay down. Chrysalis, you're in a chrysalis, darling. You are liquefying. Stop trying to cling to your caterpillar life, babe. Let yourself liquefy. Let it be total. And then let the regeneration process move as flawlessly, as inspiredly, as joyfully, as aligned as it can be. Be gentle with yourself, do nice things for yourself a little bit every day, and then your new being starts to form within that chrysalis. And then you get to start to see the benefits of what you've been changing. Change happens inside first. My attitude, my habits, how I eat, how I exercise, if I meditate. And then as we calibrate from within, we start to make choices in alignment. And then little things start to happen around us. And then as we come through from this chrysalis and really emerge into this new stage, we step forward into this next level you. Ding, next level you, this next chapter, butterfly babe. Who are you now? You get to decide. This is your life, honey. This is your movie. You're the main character. You're the videographer. You're the director. And as intimidating as it can be to know that we are fully autonomous and responsible for ourselves, it's also so liberating and so exciting. And so if you're moving through this dark rebirth process, I'm sending you so much light and love. I'm also really cheering you on from my side. I'm so excited for you that you're tilling the soil of your personal garden. Everything's getting stirred up, reset, and now you're going to be planting the new seeds and growing your next you coming through. I hope you found this useful, this conversation around what is a burnout, why is it happening? What are the gifts that it offers us as we move through this very natural cyclical process? And what are some tips that we can do to optimize what we're going through? I can leave you with one thought is it's not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. You're going to come out the other side and really be that much more in alignment with who you want to be. So here's to your growth, here's to your transformation, and here's to the next level you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alison Daley. Have a great one.